Welcome everybody, Tuesday tip of the week. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's tip is going to be all about the closing day. Your inspection's done, you've got an offer accepted, the appraisal's passed. Last thing to do is make sure to schedule the closing. What to expect if you've never been at a real estate closing or a transaction. Like I said, you're going to schedule the closing, usually what works best for the buyer and seller. You'll show up, usually one will sign before the other, or if you're both there at the same time, sometimes they'll do it in separate rooms. Sometimes they'll do it in the same room. Really just kind of depends on the deal and the title company. Some people get weird about being in the same room as the seller or the buyer, which I don't blame you. It can get awkward sometimes. You know, you're selling a home that you may have lived in for 30 years that you love, and you know, you're just skeptical that the person that's buying the home may not treat it like you treated it. That can get a little weird sometimes. So maybe sometimes it is best to just separate the buyer and seller, let everybody sign, let the transaction close, and then they can meet at the end of the transaction, hand over the keys and shake hands and ask any questions that they may have of each other. A lot of times the buyer and seller both exchange numbers in case anything comes up and they have questions. That was a badly timed phone call. If they have any questions, they can always exchange numbers, and that's that. But yeah, it's super low pressure. Most of the time you go in, the title rep will sit down with you, kind of go over all the different details of each page that you're signing. You'll sign, if you're the buyer, you're going to sign a ton of loan documents going over all of the final numbers. If you're the seller, you're going to be selling the real estate transaction paperwork, the title paperwork, giving you your final number and all the debits and credits that are along with that, making sure each side is comfortable with the numbers. So, and that's really it. Hopefully your realtor gets you a nice gift at the end, and you can go out for a drink afterwards and celebrate, and everybody's happy. So that's it. And that's typically what happens at a closing. It's really pretty cut and dry. It's usually a very exciting day most of the time. But yeah, hopefully we can get you in a closing very soon. So thank you. That's our Tuesday tip of the week. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And remember, tune in Wednesday for our weekly real estate Q&A live stream on Facebook and Instagram. That is at noon every single Wednesday. So thank you guys. We will see you next week.